All right. All right. As always, we give homage, praise, and respect to the Creator. And I love it. I love it. I love to uh, continue on letting the people know that the Creator is not a God. Okay. And a lot of people say that I sound crazy because they have not studied it out. They don't even know what God is. They don't know the etymology of God. They don't know where it comes from. You see, and we're gonna talk about, if I can get there, we're gonna talk about three W's, a H, and another W. Okay, so three W's, H, and a W. Okay, you see, and because one study, okay, if you got one that study and then you got one that don't study, and somebody approached them with certain questions about the book, okay, the one that has not studied, he can't say nothing. He can't explain the book because he have not read the book. But the one that studied the book, he can talk to you, you see, about the book. Because why? He studies. So now there's no way that the one that don't study know more than the one that study. There's no way that that's possible can have that. That can't happen. That just can't be. You see, it just can't be. Now, this is the reason why I'm bringing forth what I'm bringing forth, because I am 100%. I was 100%, y'all. Listen to what I'm saying. I was 100% a Christian. And I tried my best to live by the Christianity laws, you see, or the Christianity structure. I tried my best now. I tried my best to live that way, you see. But now, as I'm trying to live that way, I'm doing a very good job at it. You know why? Because now watch this. This right here was that you know that I was doing a very good job at living the Christianity way, is because when I sing as a preacher, as a pastor at one time I called myself, as an apostle at one time I called myself. You see? As a prophet, as one time I called myself. Well, that's not me. I still got to change that. That's the Hebrew definition or the Hebrew meaning of prophet. So, yeah. So now, I was serious. I was real serious. So therefore, that's the reason why I began to preach to people as a preacher. I began to preach to people that, wait a minute, you can't be living that way if you say you're a Christian. This is not the way that Christians are supposed to live, according to the book that we both reading. So I was so into it, is what I'm saying. I was so sincere about it, and I was so serious about it to where I was standing up for it. But guess what? I really didn't know nothing about it. You see? But I was standing up for it. That's just like you going to help somebody fight and you don't even know what the fight is about. See? Now you done stuck your nose in somebody else's business. And we know what happens to people like that. That's the same way with Christianity. You done stuck your nose in somebody else's business and somebody else's doctrine and somebody else's way of living by joining the church. By letting someone introduce you to somewhere that you know nothing about. and then you join Christianity, and you absolutely positively knows nothing about it, what you just done, you just stuck your nose, you just stuck your soul. You see, you just stuck your life in somebody's religion. Come on now, and that's just the way it goes. That's just the way that it is. And now you're a Christian, proudly going around saying, I'm a Christian, I'm Christ-like, I'm this, I'm that. But you know nothing about what you this or that about. You see? So, and I'm saying this because I was so sincere about it, you see, to why I stood up for it. Okay. And this is the reason why I know exactly what I know now, because I was so serious about it growing up to where now that I have got because just because you grown, this is what we've been taught. Just because you 60, 70 years old, that don't mean that you smart. You see what I'm saying? Just because you 60, 70 years old, that don't mean that you know. You see, because of the simple fact, someone that's coming along right now, 20 and 30 years old, that know, and you don't know. So what I'm saying is this right here. So when it came down to me supposed to have been vouching for Christianity, I did just that because that's just how sincere I was about it. And my sincerity and my curiosity, okay? My sincerity and my curiosity woke up when the spiritual part of me woke up. So the spiritual part of me that we all was born with, when it woke up on the inside of me, and all it took for me was to just stick my head out of the box. I didn't have to rise all the way up out the box. All I had to do just stick my head up out the box so that I can see. You see? And when I see, bam, that right there that's all it took for me. Because I was curiosity. I was curious. I was curious, full with curiosity. Oh, yes. Think about it. And guess what? And it made me wake up to some things that I had no clue of about what I was calling myself. It woke me up to Christianity. And I tell you what, it was not long because now I'm learning. Now my mind is maturing, but my mind did not start maturing until I got out the box. Okay? Now, the reason why my mind won't mature in the box because it's not even my mind. Because when I stuck my nose into the religion, my mind became their mind. Now they control my mind. With religion and the stories of religion and the Bible had me believing that they were true stories. See, had all of us believing that it was true stories. We knew nothing about an allegory. We knew nothing about myth or mythology or mythological events. We knew nothing about that. See? Just like a lot of people that's stuck in the box right now in Christianity, Judaism, or whatever. They know nothing about it. Know nothing about mythology. You see, what they're going by is this. What they're going by is what the Bible say. And the Bible is nothing but a belief. Think about it. The Bible is nothing but a belief. That's what Judaism is based off of. That's what Christianity is based off of. That's what all the other various religions is based off of. It's belief with no evidence of nothing. Now, when you believe something and you don't have evidence of something, you'll never get whatever it is that you believe correct. You will never know, because all you have is just belief. And if you've been having belief for thousands of years, you're going to continue on having beliefs. If nothing came to you and changed your belief in 1,000 years, you're going to be sticking with belief. You see? And you think about that. So me waking up is when I got out of the box, because my spirituality, okay, kicked in, and it turned on my curiosity and my sincerity of finding out what I was calling myself. You see? And that's what it's all about. Waking up. And then once you woke up, now you can see. This is not a dream. The only thing you can see when you sleep is a dream. You see? And you barely can see that. That's the reason why you got a lot of people that cannot tell their dream event from event. It's going to be something that they miss out. It's going to be something that they forget that comes to them later. You see that? So if you sleep, it's because you're in the box. You got to come up out of the box to wake up. And once you wake up, your curiosity will kick in now, because your spiritual part of you is activating. So now everything that the Creator created to increase our spirituality, that right there is what He'll allow us to know or allow us to see. You see? And that right there is everything natural, everything normal. It was nothing miraculous that was going on. You see? It was already done. It was already here. And that was creation. When you were born, wasn't creation here? Come on now. All the way to where you can think of anybody that you trace yourself back to. You ask them. Okay, you ask them. When ask them when they was born, was creation already here? You see? And that's all we needed. That's all we needed to live. It was already here when you was born. Without anything being tampered with. Everything that we do today, all the food that we eat today, where we live, what we eat, our identity has all been tampered with. See? And it's being tampered with. You see? This is the reason why it's a mind thing, because that's the reason why a lot of us don't even have the mind to begin to start planting your own vegetables and your own fruit. You see, don't nobody have that in mind. People don't think about that because they don't know anything about that. They don't know how our ancestors lived back in those days. You know why? Because of the simple fact, the only thing that we get when we was coming through school about African people is they were dirty. They lived like animals. They ran around the jungle naked with spears chasing animals. This is the picture that we got painted in school, to the point to where I don't want to be that. That ain't my people. And they're still instilled in us all the way until we became adults about African people. But I'm going to tell you something. What they don't tell you is that They were the most genius people on the planet of the earth. They were the first people. They were so smart, and watch this. What made them intelligent was the Creator, not no God. The Creator. And what do you mean by the Creator? Okay, creation. Creation is what? From the Creator creating creation. That right there is how our ancestors got smart and intelligent, because of the simple fact they paid attention to creation. They paid attention to the grass when it grew. They paid attention to when it grew. You see? Because a lot of things didn't grow every year like our stuff grow. It had to be certain floods to come and bring stuff to life. So that flood may not come for 15, 20, 30, 100 years. But when it finally comes, just like the Ark of Noah, you see, the Ark of Noah, that was the name of the flood that flooded down the Nile or in the land. You see? But now, when it comes down to facts, when it comes down to evidence, that changes belief. That changes belief. Listen, I'm waiting on something. You see, I'm waiting on something that I'm not even sure if it's going to come. So the only thing I can do at that time is believe that it's going to come. Watch this. Belief got me at a standstill. You see? Because I really don't know if it's going to come or not, but I believe. Bam. Now my belief got me at a standstill. I can't go forward. I can't go back. As long as I'm stuck in belief. And guess what? I can die in belief, because while I'm waiting, year after year go, and now I'm old to where I pass away. And I pass away at a standstill, not knowing who I am, and don't know nothing about what I was calling myself while I was on the face of this earth. Believing something that I had no evidence. But now watch this. But now, what I'm waiting on, it's a belief, because I do believe it's coming. But now I get a knock on the door, open up the door, and it's who I've been waiting for. Now I don't have to believe no more. See? Belief is gone now. You see? Now, what? You know why it's gone? Because of the simple fact I have evidence that is here. I got evidence. And then I watch this. And then even when it came, it just did a whole lot of things. It left evidence before it left. But now, when I come, I can't see it, the actual thing, like you could, but I see evidence that it was here. See? This is history. This is what I can prove about our ancestors, which is the African people. Whether people want to accept it or not. But the reason why they won't accept it is because of the Bible that has no evidence or no proof. See? African people are called Hamites in the Bible. Not God's chosen people. So because the Hamites is not, and we talked about how the Hamites became Hamites. We talked about all of that. Okay? Go back and look at some videos. We talked about it already. You see? But the Hamites is not God's people. And anyone that's not a Hamite that came from the line of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, if anyone from Shem, okay, they are an Israelite, that trace them to the Israelites. Anyone that's of Japheth, it traces them back to the Gentiles. Anyone of Ham, it traces them back to being cursed. Y'all see how they put the story together? See? They put the story together real good to make us believe it. Especially the stories that we talked about and we read about in Sunday school as a child. Now we grown and now we reading the Bible and we remember that story when we was little, 6 or 7 years old, going to Sunday school. You see, and YPWW. You see. So just think about it. Just think about it. The way that people grab hold to belief with not knowing, and then they die. For example, and I ask this question all the time, where is the evidence of the Exodus? Where is the evidence? Where is the evidence of the plagues in Egypt? What's the evidence? It got to be some evidence. If they was there for 400 years, it got to be some evidence somewhere. There where they were supposed to be enslaved at. In Egypt. You find evidence of everything else. But you can't find evidence of anyone or any Moses leading the people from there. There's none of that. Moses was supposed to be so whatever to where God was impressed with him, so therefore God used him because of the line he came through, the things that he did. God chose and used him. You see? You think about it. Like I say, there is no evidence of Moses leading anyone out of Egypt. Out of Egypt. There's no evidence that there's a lot of Egyptian kids, baby boys, got killed at one point of time in life. You know what I'm saying? There's no evidence that's supposed to be something big. It's some things that is evidence that happened way before this story that there's evidence of. You see what I'm saying? So you can't sit there and say, well, it wasn't like then. We couldn't just, there was no forensics or we couldn't just do this. No, because there's evidence of stuff that I'm talking about that happened way before. It even talks about Moses leading the people from Egypt. See? And there's evidence there, but there's not evidence here. Y'all not talking to me. You see what I'm saying? Evidence there, but not no evidence here. And what's there has been longer than what's here. You see, real history is 100% older than the Bible, the biblical history. And guess what? People want to say that the Bible is their history book, especially the Hebrew Israelites. They want to say that the Bible is their history book. Let me tell you something. The Bible is not even a history book. It's a meta history book. That's what it is. It's a difference between meta history and history. See? Now, meta history is basically an enclosed history to where there's only history right here. There's no history to the left, to the right, to the north, to the south. There's no history there, but history lies within, right here. There's no outside evidence of the history that I have in here. No outside evidence. You see? Of the history that I have right here. But now, history, whole different thing. You got evidence. That's what makes history. If you don't have evidence of something that you say that happened or that has been done, and you don't have no evidence, that don't make history. They don't make a history book. Everything that you can go to the real history book and you can see, you should be able to have evidence of that thing that you're looking at. See, that's history. See, now watch this right here. We were here this time last week. We were here this time, and guess what? I got evidence. I got a video that showed we was here. But now watch this. But now that was last week. Now we into this week. Guess what, y'all? Last week is history. Now watch this. Watch this. Here's meta history. Here's meta history. Meta history is when no one was here, there was a group of people that was there on a Saturday, and they were all being taught the word of the Creator. And then the story just go left field. Watch this. Now, number one, they want to talk about the group of people that we have history that was here last week. They talk about a made up group of people. So they paint pictures of people that they making up to make it seem like that event right there occurred during that time. But now we know that during the time of last week, we know that, and if somebody was to write draw a picture or write a book about us meeting last week, we know that, okay, that right there, that you may have drew a picture of us, but that's not us. You know why that's not us? Because we was not there at that time. You see, that's not us. So that got to be somebody you fabricated, that you made up. That's what meta history is. You see? And in a nutshell, so in other words, meta history is when somebody put a story together and they do main events and they really make it sound like it's really true, and then they paint pictures of events that already had happened in the past, but they, go left field with it. That's meta history. See that? Meta history. To the point to where we know that slavery was what we know that our people went through slavery, correct? We know that. So now, if a book begins to start talking about slavery, the very first thing that we're gonna say, oh, you know what? That's talking about us. That's talking about us. That's talking about we was enslaved. But now watch this right here. It may be referring to us being enslaved, but it's not talking about us, because what it's saying about it is not us. Because they went left field and made it about something else. That's meta history. And the something else that you made it, there's no evidence of it. Now, we got evidence of what's true and what's for real, but you have no evidence of what was made up, that was painted and put into the story. You see? But history, you got evidence, because that right there is what makes history. You got some history of some Olympic players, okay? Michael Jordan made history. You see? Steph Curry made history, is making history. He is, you say, well, he's still here. But he has some past games that he outnumbered another player in three-point shooting. So that made history, and history stands today. You know why? Because it's proof. All they got to do is just go back and just show all the threes he made. Just keep a record when he got into the drawing of trying to break the record. That's all you got to do. You see? And you'll find your evidence, your proof right there. Versus me making up someone by the name of Leo the Magnificent. Leo the Magnificent, he was a bad boy. He made history with slam dunks. You see? Now, I should be able to go to Leo Musician or Magnificent. I should be able to go back to his record. I should be able to find something about what I just said he done. You see, I'm supposed to be able to find something. But now watch this right here. But if they copying from, just say, Michael Jordan, all the dunks he made, and they copy from him and paint a picture of Leo and change his name, that don't make it true. That means that it copied from someone else. Now, watch this now. The event may be true. You see? The event was true, but what you copy And how you edit it is not. But when it comes to us, we believe that it's true because it sounds just like the event that is true. You see? And we fall for that. Now we indoctrinated by that. We're indoctrinated by that now. And that's what we live with for the rest of our lives. For the rest of our lives. And guess what? Now we in bondage. We bound. We bound. You see? And so it don't matter how someone come and say something that's wrong with me or anyone else that's teaching the truth, like myself and a whole lot of others. It don't make me no different. Who don't want to have no parts with me? That don't make no difference with me. I'm not about to soften up and change my game to being yours. I'm not going to do that. Now, if I soften up, change my game to be in your game, then I'm accepted. I'm accepted. But I'm living a life that's not me because that's not my game. Until I die, I'm playing in another man's game. Wow. Until I die. Think about that. But you don't have, listen, but people just don't understand that because they have no brain that is working while they're in a box. That's going to understand what I'm saying. You got to be out the box. I mean, please do me a favor. Just stick your head out the box. Stick your head out the box and just listen to one thing and then just look up that one thing. I guarantee you it leads you to a whole lot of things. I guarantee you will slowly but surely be coming up out that box. And once you got the box, then now you can think for yourself. But everything I can be out there. You can't have 1 foot in the box and 1 foot out the box. You got to be completely out of the box. You see? And that you got people say, man, you out the box. Y'all remember that old saying? That mean, man, you crazy. Man, you sound crazy. When they say, man, you out the box. So that's what I'm saying to myself. I'm looking in the mirror saying to myself, man, you out the box. You see? Because I'm out the box. And I love it because I'm free. Wow. I'm free. You know what? Just by me respecting creation, just by me respecting the grass, the sun, everything that has been made, just by me respecting that, I'm so free. Oh my word, I'm so free. I ain't worried about nothing. You know why? Because I can think now. You know why? Because I'm paying more attention to creation. And oh, I like that. Once creation hook up with your spirituality, it right there open up your it open up your mind. It open up everything gets open now to creation because now we know about creation. See, just like what we were talking about, everything clear, everything pure. Nothing to be tampered with. Food that we ate was pure then. Now today, food is being tampered with. It wasn't no such thing as adding no steroids to chicken or stuff like that to bread, yeast. You see, adding all this stuff to beef. You see, you cut a slice. You cut a slice of beef that small, but after they go through the 4th, 6th, and the 7th man, you see, and the reason why I say the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th is because it takes 3 stages for them to make sure that it's suitable to go on the line. Okay. And then once it's suitable to go on the line, make sure ain't no disease in it. Make sure that it's a nice piece of meat. Then they go 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th by going and putting it in steroids in it and make it from that size to that size. It went from a wee bone to a T-bone. You see, you know, listen, that the way we have been living, y'all, has been tampered with. You know why? Because we've been tampered with as a people. We was minding our business just as nice. You know why we were nice? You know why we got caught with our guards down? Because we was not worried about nothing. As long as, and I'm talking about antiquity, I'm talking about way back then. Because as long as we depended on creation and what the Creator had created, we didn't have nothing to worry about at all. We wasn't worried about our daughters running around being raped. We wasn't worried about our daughters running around getting pregnant, you know, without giving themselves to one man and one man only. We didn't know that's how we was. We were civilized. We didn't have no jail system. We didn't have no soldiers. We didn't have no officers. We didn't have no protectors because we didn't need none. You know who we was protected by? We were protected by creation. That's why they was able to build houses from trees. You see? Taking bamboo sticks, putting them together, taking papyrus, putting that together. Using things like that, coming up with herbs from what they was building from. So the tree produced all kinds of things for us to live, y'all. It produced wood for shelter. It produced leaves for medicine. All this is, listen, all this is evidence. But guess what the Bible said? The Bible said over in mythological Genesis that, and the leaves are for medicine. The fruit is for meat and the leaves are for medicine. That's what it said. But you know why I said that? Because now that'll make us think, see, that right there is true. But guess where they got that from? They got that from the Africans before the Bible's even written, the Africans making medicine out of leaves. You see, that's where they got that from. Way before the Bible was written. But they found this out when they was accepted in as friends. When they came over to Egypt. Accepted them in as friends. You see, they came in with their power. Because you know why they had power already? Because there was a mean people, because you know what they were? They was like scavengers. They was ruthless. I'm talking about the Greeks, y'all. They was ruthless. You see? They were uncivilized. They were just a messed up. They were savages. They were just a messed up people to the point to where they had no civilization. They ain't know nothing. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. Back in those days, you had the priests, the priests, or no, I'm sorry, not the priests. You had Greek fathers that was infatuated with sleeping with baby boys. Young boys, I should say, young boys. You see, that Greek man, he will have a wife, he'll already have kids, he'll go home and he'll eat. After he finished eating, he got to go and spend time with his boy lover. And that's what they was doing at all-time high. You see, look it up. Facts. There's proof there. And whenever they went hunting to get food, just say if they went deer hunting, they kill a deer. What they do, they kill a deer and they just rip him open right then and there. Just start eating it right then and there, eating it raw and everything right then and there. That was an uncivilized, savage group of people that came into Egypt and just completely stole everything. They stole their way of living. You see, they stole their literature. And the literature that they stole then, they put it in the Bible that you read now. They stole that literature and changed it. They stole the literature of Osiris, Horus, and Isis. And they changed it to Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. And that happened in the Council of Nicene, or the Nicene Creed, in 325 AD. All you gotta do is just look it up. That's when that came about. The Trinity. It started off with homogeneous creed. Homo means two in one. The same as. And then it went from Homogeneous to Apostles' Creed. By the time when it got to the Apostles' Creed, that right there is in some of the Baptist churches today. We believe, and the second word is I believe, is believe. I believe that Jesus Christ and the Father is one. I believe, and this, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Look it up. It's called the Apostles' Creed. And then it gets down to the bottom and tell you where this belief comes from. It says we believe in the Catholic Church. That all goes way back to the Roman Empire. When after they seen what was going on, they took charge and began to change things. You see? They went over there. We invited them in, our ancestors, and they took things that we created from creation by the Creator. They took those things, changed it around, and they put their name on it. Like, for example, they took Osiris, moved him out the way, and gave him multiple names. They gave him Allah. They gave him Jehovah. They gave him Yahweh. They gave him Buddha, Krishna, etc., etc., etc. They gave that God those names. You see? But the Creator has not a name. Because no one knows how we were created. But you got the religion people believe what the Bible say how we was created. Through Adam and Eve. And that's just a belief because there's no proof. And I even got mythological stories where the story of Adam and Eve came from. Thousands of years before the Bible was written. Evidence and proof. Still, some of the papyrus today is in museums. And these papyrus go back way, way, way in antiquity. Millenniums. You see? And there's evidence. You see? So when it comes down to that, listen, and I don't understand. This is what I don't understand. I don't understand, and I use this all the time, and I'm going to continue on using it until I understand. And I don't think I'm going to never understand because a lot of folk ain't going to change. They're going to die the way that they are. But I'm going to say this right here. I guarantee you everything that I'm saying, I guarantee you they would not study it out. They would not study it out for themselves. But they will continue on saying, he crazy. He crazy. He don't know what he's talking about. But you don't, but you ain't even hearing what I'm saying. And you're gonna tell me I'm crazy and I don't know what I'm talking about. But you ain't heard nothing that I said. That don't make no sense. You see? So now, as I was saying, we've been brainwashed to believe these events that did not take place. But now watch this. Why isn't the way that Alexander the Great went down there, the first one that was there, along with his daddy, you see, Philippi of Macedonia, okay, why they didn't put the events that happened on the making of Jesus? How come they didn't put that in, you know what I'm saying, in the Bible? That right there would have probably made me believe in him to this day. If they had told the truth how he was made, because they could have brainwashed it and made us to think, man, that's incredible how they made him. That's incredible. So we know we better serve him because that's incredible. Did y'all see how he came from an ape? A bull. I mean, he came from a bull. So he mighty. And then he came from the god Osiris. So man, that means that he was a godly bull. So he's above all. And then, wait a minute. And then that was in 325. Okay, but now he is now he's Jesus. Oh my. Man, I'm going to bow down to Jesus. I'm going to do everything that I can to serve Jesus. If they had told the truth about that story, is what I'm saying. But because they lied about it, but they got it from there, and they changed it, now they want people to believe that he didn't come from Apis the bull and Osiris. He come from a virgin. You see, he comes from a virgin. I would have believed that I would have believed them if they said that he came from Apis the bull and Osiris like Serapis did. I would have believed them if they said that before they said that he came from a virgin. But because I was already indoctrinated, I believed it anyway. But for somebody that never, ever, ever messed with this stuff, for someone that never, ever, ever been entangled with religion, if you ask them that question, they look at you like you crazy. Ask them, do they believe that a man walked on water? They're going to laugh at you. Ask them, do they believe that it was a virgin that had a child? They'll laugh you to scorn. But when you locked into religion, and religion got put in you when you came out of your mama's womb, because soon as you came out of your mama's womb, you had a group of people in there praying over the baby in Jesus' name. That was sinking into the mind of that baby. You see? And then as the baby got a little older, a couple of months older, now you bring them to the church and you let them Christian the baby. See, y'all don't know nothing about this. They did that in Egypt. See? Before the Bible was written. You see? Celebrated the baby. To bring the baby into the atmosphere. To bring the baby into nature. It was a good thing to have kids then. Now it's not even a good thing to have kids now. Because of what they're going to grow up in. Because this world been tampered with. They didn't have to worry about that. They love giving birth. And antiquity. They love when a child came to this world. The only thing they did was offer it up to the sun, the sun, because it takes sun to live. Just like you see in several movies, like you seen in Roots, how they had the baby held up in the air. They automatically was giving the respect to the sun that helped bring forth that baby. The sun played a lot of part in bringing forth a baby, bringing forth life. You see what I'm saying? You think about it. You know? And again, when it comes down to this religion, like I said before, that religion is the causing of this world being the way that it is. We joined Judaism, sticking our nose in another man's religion. We joined Christianity, sticking our nose in another man's religion, getting in there for free. And then once you're in there, now you're obligated to pay a tithe. You're obligated to go to church. You're obligated to give an offer. You're obligated now. But when you went in that stuff, you was not obligated. You can keep money. See, you got a lot of people that's trying to cover this thing up. You got a lot of people that just try to, as they say, keep up with the Johnsons or the Joneses. You see, they know good so well they can't dress like that every Sunday. You borrow money from these lending places and got to pay them double back just to keep up with the Joneses in the church, to make the pastor say good things about you, because a lot of time, if a person don't got nothing, the pastor ain't saying nothing about them. See? And you got somebody sitting up there knowing that they don't have anything. They're getting tired of hearing about the Joneses getting credit for everything. Now what you finna do, now you finna try to be like the Joneses. Now you got to borrow money to look just like the Joneses. Now you went in debt trying to look like the Joneses. You died trying to be like the Joneses. But we don't see this stuff. This is what's going on in church. You know? See? And we go along with that stuff. You see, we stuck our nose in that man-made religion. We stuck our nose in that. And because we stuck our nose in that, now we got to live by it. It got us handcuffed. We bound to it. And guess what? Everybody that's bound to Christianity is doing a very, very poor job. They're doing a very, very poor job of loving Christianity or being a Christian. They're doing a very bad job, a very poor job at being a Christian. Because you know and I know that the majority of these churches is completely contrary from the way that a Christian, quote unquote, we was supposed to look. You see? This is this is why it's easy for someone off the street to join the church and remain like they are, get a position in the choir, just get a position anywhere. Don't even qualify for it. You ain't finna go no place and put in an application and then they give you a job without you qualifying to do the job. Like you just come off the street. You see? And you got a job at McDonald's. And you go in there and you put your application in and they hire you right on the spot. And then soon they hire you on the spot, they made you put the McDonald's clothes on and stand behind the register. And they go on about their business. You see that? Now, what's wrong with that picture? They don't know nothing about the person that they just put behind the register. That person didn't have to do anything to qualify. That person didn't have to prove itself. That person didn't even have to give evidence of who he was or who she was. But they automatically got the position behind the cash register. What type of day and what type of shipwreck you think that's going to be? You see? Come on, think about it. It's qualification. But you got people that join Christianity. And when they join Christianity, they just going around saying that they're Christian. Living contrary to what their rule book tell them, because all it is a rule book to keep us under subjection back in antiquity, y'all. Not too long ago in antiquity. You see. So they written that to keep us, you know what I'm saying, to keep us in order, to give us something to take with us when we quote unquote was supposed to be free. Before y'all leave, we finna give y'all something that's gonna help y'all. And that right there is when they gave the Bible. But it didn't help us. It helped and is helping them. Who is them? Your oppressors and those that are kin to your oppressors. Now you figure that out. See? You figure that out. You see? Come on now. And again, we grabbed onto it and we became it. And then now that we getting something happen to us, we refer a little bit back to it, and then now we begin to start reading it, and now we listen to what the pastor said about it. Matter of fact, we listen to what the pastor said about it before we read it. And whatever the pastor said about it, we believe it, and didn't even read it. Wow. Only because we heard him preach it. You see? But we ain't got no evidence because we didn't even look at it ourselves. That's why you got crazy slang word, slogan words that come out of saints or wannabe saints' mouths or saints' mouths, come out of their mouth. You see what I'm saying? That they have memorized that the preacher said but didn't show, and that is, he may not come when we want him, but he always on time. You see? The Bible says, "Come as you are." Come on now. You see? So now those are slang, and there's so many other slogan words that's been used while we was coming up, listening to what the preacher was saying without no evidence. You see? And we just believed it. You know what? In my closings, I'm going to stop here. In my closings, again, this is what I want to let everybody know. Okay, I'll let everybody know this. Now, number one, first of all, there's a lot of people that feel that it's a lot of people that come to me because they've concerned. I appreciate that. I appreciate all the ones that saying things to me, not disrespectful, and they talk to. And there's a few people that don't believe what I'm saying, but they just talk so respectful to me. I enjoy that. I love that. You see, I love that. Because you know why they do that? Because they're concerned. One that want to get on here and tell me I'm dumb and stupid, they're not concerned. They're not concerned about me. You know what I'm saying? It's the ones that come on there respectful. And I understand why they're concerned. You know what? Because they don't know the truth. You see, they don't know the truth. It could be a old uncle. It could be an old sister. It could be your mother. Whoever it is, it could be your auntie. Whoever it is. They will only be sinning because they don't understand what I'm saying. It's easy to say you sound crazy of what you're saying when I don't know nothing about what you're saying. And it's evident that I don't know. Well, matter of fact, it's evident that you sound crazy because I never heard what you're saying. So that's evident you sound crazy. Come on now. There's no way that someone can prove to me that 2 + 2 = 5. There's no way. You can't do that. And the only reason why you would run around thinking it's fine. Now watch this. If we were young and if we was taught when they was teaching us multiplication and they was teaching us plus and minus, if we was taught when we were coming up in grade school, preschool, kindergarten, first grade, all the way through high school, if we was taught that 2 + 2 = 5 and no one was there to correct us, we'll grow up thinking that 2 + 2 = 5 because that's the way we learned it. That's exactly the way we learned it. Okay. But now come to the point to where if someone come to me and I was thinking that 2 + 2 is 5, but it seemed like something just didn't add up. You see, something just didn't add up. You see, so now I'm questioning, like, wow, I keep hearing people say that 2 + 2 is 4 and not 5. You know what, man? And things has not been adding up. Let me look into it. Ooh, soon as you said let me look into it, guess what you did, y'all? You stuck your head out of the box. As soon as you said those words, and whether you said the words or whether they came in your mind, but as soon as you said or thought, let me look this up. Bam, that right there is when your head popped up out of the box. You see? And there's no way that I will call myself sane. I will call myself smart.